Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming this gorgeous green gold half cut crease using the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. I've done a couple of videos on this palette before, but if you want to learn how to get this look, I've been loving the greens lately. Please keep on watching. I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids. I'm using the Urban Decay primer potion today. And as always, I always do my brows before I start filming because it's just easier. But I use the Benefit Ka-Brow and Goof Proof, and then I set it with whatever brow setter I feel like that day. But I almost thought I like wiped off my whole brow. My finger kind of slipped. I'm gonna go ahead and set the eyeshadow base. Today I'm using the RCMA No Color Powder. I had just dumped it into this old Laura Mercier packaging because I feel like it is easier to use than their original packaging. I'm taking Morphe E20 to set. I haven't used this powder in like a long time. Aiming to do a green olivey half cut crease. I feel like I've done like a pinky half cut crease and like a brownie smoky eye half cut crease, but I've never done a green one that I can remember, and I've kind of been really obsessed with like greens, like olivey greens. So I'm going to be using the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. I believe I've used this a couple of times already. I should have videos on it. I may link them if I do, if you're interested in seeing how if you're interested in seeing the other looks I've created with the palette. So I've had this palette for a while, and I really enjoy it. It's really nice. It has a bunch of shimmers, and then her matte shades, and then her cream to powder eyeshadow shades as well, which she sprinkled in some of her newer palettes. So I believe this one has the most cream to powder formulation eyeshadow shades, but I could be wrong, and why my hand keeps moving like this, I don't know. So I'm going to be using this palette today. I'm super excited. I'm going to start off by using the Morphe R40, and I'm going to be taking, first I'm going to just use a transitional shade. So I'm going to be taking this neutral brown shade right here, and I'm going to start building my transitional shade up. I'm going to be taking my Bdellium Tools 776, and I'm going to go ahead and use this shade right here, which is more of a yellowy mustard tone than our original transition shade. I'm going to pop that in the outer corner just to start building some depth, and then we can go in with like a more greenish shades to build it up. I'm going to go ahead and take the same brush, and I'm going to start going in with like a grainy shade. So I'm going to go in with this green shade right here, and this is one of her cream to powder formulas. I'm going to start off light, mainly focusing in the outer corner lash line first. You can see there's like a little bit right here, can't tell. That is such a pretty green shade. Kind of looks like a poopy green with the yellow, but that's okay. I promise we'll look at that at the end. Again, once more, I'm going to take the first transitional shade and blend. I'm going to go in with this shade right here. It's kind of like a deepish, it's like a deep green, like an olive green with a little bit of brown. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to apply that and deepen it up. This is the Morphe R39. And again, I'm going to pat over top of that lighter green I used. And then with whatever I have left on the brush, I'm going to go ahead and blend that into the inner corners. You cut the crease, there will be a little bit of depth. So lastly, I think I'm just going to take this emerald green, like teal shade right here. It's like the deepest, has a very slight teal shift. I'm going to take my brush. This is one of her cream to powder shades, and I'm going to smoke that out. As you can see, it's like super, super pigmented. So you want to really focus this into the lower lash line before you go ahead and blend that in. And again, I kind of look like a fish right now with all these greens. I'm going to go ahead and blend. Go ahead and cut the crease. This peeking out right here is my mirror. I just really need it up close and personal when I am doing a cut crease. So, you guys, I cannot find my beloved Dose of Color brush that I like to use to cut my crease. Oh my gosh, never mind. Found it! It was hiding. It was hard work. This is my Dose of Colors concealer brush. It is the most flattest flat brush ever. It's like the best thing. And I love using the Tarte Shape Tape to cut my crease because I feel like it just blends out really nicely. So I'm going to take that. This is in the shade Light Medium. Take some on the back of my hand. And I like to saturate the product into the brush like so. To make sure that the brush and the bristles are like flat. This product that it is making the brush so flat. I'm going to start aligning. Actually a little bit more. Then I look up. The crease is like very weird today. So I'm gonna start like right here because my crease is like flipped, I guess. Not flipped, but I have more little flips today. In folds, little folds. I'm gonna go very little. Because you do not want to just like go one swoop. I mean, if you're very talented like that, by all means. I am not. So I like to go in like kind of little strokes, I guess. I take a clean finger and pat. I like to pat inwards so it kind of blends in with everything. And then kind of like pat it outwards. Now that I have blended it out, I'm going to take the R39. I'm going to take a little bit of that deep greenish like mossy shade and I'm going to blend ever so slightly to mix. Now I'm going to take my Dose of Colors brush and I'm going to take this like greenish gold shimmery shade right here and I'm going to apply it onto the center. So gorgeous. I'm like dying. Okay, now I'm going to go back with my R39, taking that same mossy green shade to further blend out, except I'm going to blend inwards to where the shimmer shade is. I have this Makeup by Mario Master Crystal Reflector. This is in Citrine. It's that yellowy shade. I'm going to go ahead and pat this shade onto my lid for a more dramatic feel. It's kind of like, ooh, that's, like it's very subtle because it has that glitter and obviously the shade has that yellow reflex, so I think that it would just bring it out even more. I don't know if you can tell, but it definitely brings out that yellowish gold even more, so I really like that. I want to get that clear one. I'm not sure actually what it's called. Because it like brings, it kind of reminds me of like Just a Kiss from Dose of Colors Desi and Katie palette, because it just brings out a shade to anything, you know, gives it that little zazz. I'm gonna go ahead and apply some glow, not that there isn't enough glitter on my eyes already. This is my Marc Jacobs Coconut Gel Highlighter in Dewdrops. I'm honestly not quite sure what the name of this product is still. Like, is it called Dewdrops? Is that the name, or I don't know. Beauty blender and pat that glow on. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Dior Backstage Face and Body in 220. I'm going to just apply it with my finger actually. And then I'm going to take my JH09 to apply. I'm just going to take some on the back of my hand. Now for concealer, I'm going to take my NARS Radiant Creamy in Ginger. Go ahead and cream contour, and today I'll be using the Huda Beauty Tantour Contour in Light. This is an oldie but a goodie. I feel like I've used this for like so many years already, even though I think this is like my second year finding out about this product, like having it. Taking my JH08, I'm only going to take a little bit because as we know this product is like very pigmented. I already took a little bit too much. And always apply a little bit higher. Now I'm going to take my Makeup Shack T42 one. Taking my Kosas Concealer in number 02. I don't actually know what this is called, but I think they only have one concealer, and this is the shade 02. Blend this out. How much I love this concealer. It like brightens everything. I go ahead and set my under eyes with fluff brush, and I'm gonna just blend out. And I'm using my RCMA no color powder. But there's no creasing first. I'm going to set the rest of the face. I'm using my Real Techniques and my all-time favorite Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in number 2. Kind of think that I should get number 1 because I feel like number 2... Does number 2 match me? I feel like number 1... I don't know. If you have number 1, let me know. Should I get number 1? But we're going to go ahead and set the face. And taking my Morphe E50 to pat off the extra... Pat in the extra powder. And I also grabbed a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury powder in it as well. That's done. I'm going to go ahead and bronze it up. My Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in number 2. I really, really like this. And then my MAC 140. What's your guys' like favorite bronzer? Let me know. Or anything. Your favorite makeup product that you've tried all of 2020. I know a lot of us haven't worn a lot of makeup, but you know, 2020 or you know, a favorite from 2019. Let me know down below. Always up for purchasing new makeup products. I'm going to go ahead and contour my face. This is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess. I'm just going to dab my brush into each of the contour shades. I'll just start high because if it blends down, it'll still blend down in like an okay area. Before I go ahead and carve out my cheeks, I'm going to go ahead and blend out. Using my Beauty Blender and some RCMA no color powder. Alright, we are getting close, my friends. I didn't go back with the eyeshadow palette up just a little. And I'm going to take this shade right here, that mossy green color. Take this JH42. I'm just going to take a little bit. And we're going to outline the top part of the crease. Back in with your brush to further blend it out. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Morphe R40. So slightly blend it out. Now I'm going to move back away from the palette. I'm going to take my Marc Jacobs Highliner in Earthquake, and I'm going to go ahead and tightline and smudge a little bit on my lower lash line and apply some mascara. This is the Bad Gal Bang from Benefit, and then some lashes. I went ahead and applied my lashes. I'm wearing my KoKo lashes Goddess, which are very similar to the House of Lashes Iconics. So I have those on, and then now I'm going to apply some blush. I picked up 2 types of blushes because I didn't know how this was going to go. Actually, blend out my powder. Go ahead and take the MAC Cosmetics Cheek Pollen Blush and maybe a little bit of the MAC Marilyn Monroe Blush in Legendary. This one's a little bit more pinky. I've had this for a while. This is a very old collection. It doesn't smell bad or anything, so I'm going to use it. Sonia Kashuk brush, because this look is so, like, kind of dramatic, you know? Some highlight. Today I'm using the MAC Whisper of Guilt Extra Dimension highlighter. My fan brush from Morphe M310. Then I'm going to go ahead and set my eyebrows. I'm going to take my Patrick Ta shaping wax. This is the tinted version. Spritz a little bit of my, whatever this is called, I forget. To set my face using the ColourPop hyaluronic acid. I'm back, and I'm going to go ahead and apply some, we're going to move on to the lips because I'm going with the KKW lip liner in, what is this, 90s Glam. Go ahead and take LA Girl, what color is this? Cafe, which is like a brownie nude. Shayla and ColourPop, what is this? Ultra Satin Lip in Slow Down, which is like a brownie nude. I thought it'd be perfect since this is more of a dramatic look. Alright guys, this is the end of my tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one.